Hello, boys and girls, and welcome back to the secluded corner of the patch. The moon is high, and the shadows are deep, and before you lie yourselves down in your beds and close your eyes for the night, I invite you all to gather around the campfire for tonight's tale.
It was a stormy night. Rain was pelting against the windows of our secluded cabin. The eerie glow of the fireplace was the only source of light in the room. My friends and I had sought refuge here for a weekend getaway. We had been looking forward to a peaceful retreat in the heart of nature, but little did we know that our lives were about to take a terrifying turn. We were gathered around the fireplace, sharing stories and laughter, trying to drown out the eerie howls of the wind outside. As the night grew darker, a sense of unease washed over us. Shadows danced on the walls, whispering secrets which we were too afraid to hear. This place gives me the creeps. Did you just hear that? Relax, it's just the wind. We're safe inside. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching us. Someone was watching us. I excused myself and stepped out onto the porch, hoping that the fresh air would help to calm my racing heart. The rain by now had subsided, and left behind was a heavy mist that clung to the trees. Suddenly I heard a distant howl, a chilling cry that sent shivers down my spine. It was unlike anything I had ever heard before. A sense of dread washed over me, but I couldn't ignore the impulse to investigate. And against my better judgment, I ventured deeper into the woods, following the sound. As I walked, the forest grew dense and claustrophobic, the moonlight struggling to penetrate through the thick canopy of trees above. With each step, the feeling I was being watched intensified. Every crack of a twig echoed through the silence. The rustling of leaves sounded through the night air, making my heart pound in my chest. Suddenly, a figure darted past me, disappearing behind a gnarled old tree. I froze in fear, my breath caught in my throat. Slowly, I crept forward. My heart was pounding like a drum. The silence was deafening, broken only by the sound of my footsteps on the wet leaves. And then it happened. A low growl, guttural, menacing, feral, reverberated through the forest. My blood turned to ice as I realized that I was now not alone. I felt a presence behind me, some unseen force that threatened to consume me. I turned, and there it stood before me, a creature unlike anything I had ever seen before. Its eyes gleamed with a malevolent glow, and its twisted limbs contorted in unnatural ways. Its skin, if you could even call it that, was a sickly shade of gray, hanging off of its emaciated frame like tattered rags. And it was in that moment that I knew I was now face to face with a Skinwalker. The creature let out an ear-splitting shriek, filling the air with a cacophony of terror. I stumbled backward, desperate to escape its gaze, but it was too late. The Skinwalker lunged at me, its claws slashing through the air. I dodged its attack, adrenaline coursing through my veins. And I ran. I ran as fast as my legs would carry me, my heart pounding in my ears. The forest seemed to twist and turn, a labyrinth designed to keep me trapped within its clutches. But I refused to give up. I could hear the Skinwalker snarls growing distant behind me, but I couldn't shake the feeling that it was toying with me, reveling in my fear, hot on my trail. I burst through the tree line. My chest was heaving, lungs were burning, and I collapsed onto the cabin's front porch. My friends rushed to my side, their faces etched with concern and confusion. What happened? Are you okay? I struggled to catch my breath, my voice barely a whisper. Skinwalker. managed to utter. What? Are you serious? I nodded, unable to find the words to explain the horrors that I had just witnessed. From that moment on, the cabin that had once been our sanctuary became a prison, the walls closing in as we realized that we were not alone. The haunting howl of the Skinwalker echoed in our nightmares, as a constant reminder that some horrors cannot be escaped. And so, my friends and I lived in perpetual fear, trapped in the clutches of the supernatural. The Skinwalker's presence lingered, a dark cloud that would never disperse. The memory of that fateful encounter still haunts me to this day. It's a chilling reminder of that the line between reality and the supernatural is often thinner than we dared to ever imagine.
And that concludes our story for the night. I do hope that you've enjoyed your time here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you'd enjoyed tonight's story, or you have any requests for subjects of a future story, please comment down below. Now, if you'll excuse me, the night is still young, and there are oh so many things to discover. Sweet dreams.